Hey everyone, welcome back to Code with Poonam. This is day 17 of our 100 days of coding challenge in JavaScript. Today we are diving into another exciting challenge, that is summing up the elements in an array. Okay, so whatever the array will be there, those elements we are going to add up. Okay, so that is what is our today's challenge. So let's dive right into our today's challenge and we'll move to a VS Code. If you see here, the question is already mentioned. Write a JavaScript function that calculates the sum of the elements in a given array of number. So let us break down and take the important part of this particular question, that write a JavaScript function. So we'll take this part and we'll put it over here. What is the next important part in this question? That we have to calculate the sum of all the elements of an array. So I will just put it over here and I'll write here the array. Okay. So this is what is the two important part of the question, correct? Now this question is related to what? Summing up all the elements, right, of an array. So we will create a function related to this. So we'll come here and we will write sum array. So this will be our function name. Okay. Now if we proceed with the next line, we see what is written, sum of the elements of an array. So let us understand how it will be there. So how the array is represented. Arrays are always represented in a square bracket, right? In a square bracket it is represented, and inside the square bracket whatever the numbers you're going to put, that is known as an element. So suppose I put 1, suppose I put 2, suppose I put 34, suppose I put 45. So this is what, this is the elements of an array. And what resultant I want 1 plus 2 plus 34 plus 45. This has to be the output. So if you come here and take this in the console, you will get what is the addition of all this. It is 82. So this is what is the output we want. This is what the resultant we need. That is what we have to do it of any array, whatever we are passing to a function. Now, how can we do that? What will be the approach here? The approach, we will be solving this question in two different ways. Okay, one will be our traditional way using a for loop. So if it is an array, we can run our loop till less than this particular point. We'll start with 0 and we will end up at this array of length -1, correct? That is what will be the thing, and then we will do the summing up. That is the first approach we are going to do. And the second approach we are going to do, we are going to use a reduce method. Okay, we will be using the reduce method. This is an array method. Okay, so this is an array method. So this is what we are going to use it. So if I have to tell you, let us come back again to the for loop. Okay, so how we are going to work with the for loop now? What we will start? We will start I is equal to 0. That will be our starting point, right? And where it will end? It will end at our array dot length, right? And we have to increment, and then after that we are going to summing up, right? So then we will sum it up. So this is what we are going to do it here. Now in the reduce method, now if we come to the another method, that is a reduce method. What does this reduce method does? It iterates through the array and accumulates the sum. So this reduce method takes a function. Okay, it will take a function, and that function will take what? It takes an accumulator and your current value. Current value means your current element. Okay, so it is going to take your current value. So I can write here CV. Some people write CV, some people write number, some people write anything. So you can write here anything. So let us write here CV. Okay, or we can write here number. Whatever we feel, we can write it here. So accumulator and number. Let us keep it accumulator and number. Okay, this is our reduce method. And when you are going to perform the addition, so what will happen? What is the accumulator meaning? Accumulating, right? Accumulating the sum. So your sum will be accumulated in this ACC. Okay. And this will be your elements, one after the elements. And initial value of the accumulator, we are going to give a 0. So we will see how we can do this using both the methods. Okay. So let us come down and let us write our function. So we will come here and we will write here function, and we are going to write here what? Sum array with the parenthesis, and let us invoke this function as well. So we will come here and we will write here what? Sum of array, and I will pass my array over here. And what we will do? 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma, or let us take this number itself. We can take this number itself. So we will take all these numbers and we will put it over here. So this will be our array 1 comma 2 comma 34 comma 45. Okay, now let us come here and take it over here. So I'll come here and I'll put ARR. Okay, and if you console this particular ARR, you will get this particular array over here. So let us test our function also. So if you come here, we can see here node, and our file name is what? 17. Today we are at 17 challenge, or file name is also 17. Okay, so I'll just type here node 17 challenge question, and you can see here I got this particular array. So since we are getting this particular array, we can iterate over this, right? So we can use our for loop now. Okay, in the previous videos now, we have done summing of the numbers, summing of the digits of an element. The same approach here also we are going to follow. Okay, so what we will do, we will create a variable called as a sum is equal to 0, where our addition, whatever we are going to perform after each iteration, the addition of the elements, it is going to store it into a sum value. Okay, so that is why we are taking it up. So we'll come here and we'll write here for let I is equal to what? 0. Correct. So we'll start with I is equal to 0, and I is less than what? ARR dot length, right? And then I plus plus. Correct. After this, what will we do? Let us come here and just console the I value also. And if I want to get the elements of an array here, what I should do? I will pass here ARR of I, because ARR of I means one time it will be 0. So ARR of 0, it will give me 1. Again, it will increment and it will become what? 1. So it will give me ARR of 1. That is nothing but 2. Like that, it will go and give me the particular values. So we can see that in the console how the iterations are going to work. What is the I value? And for that, what will be the array of I also? That's what I have done the console.log. So if you see here, when in the first iteration, when it is 0, our value will be what? 1. Correct. After the second iteration, 2, then 34, then 45. So here 4 iterations are properly happening, and we are able to get the particular value as well. Correct. Now what we will do, we have to store, right? We have to update our sum value with the addition of all the elements. So what we will do, we will come here and we will write sum is equal to sum plus ARR of I. Correct. And we are not going to console our sum inside our for loop. Where we will console? We will console it outside after our for loop ends, because we want the final updated value in the sum, right? So if you come here and once again if you run it, you are able to get it over here. So let us come here and let us run the file once again, node 17, and you can see here I got here what? 82. That is what it was expected from us. So that is what we are getting over here. I have shown you that the most preferable way is what? We will what? Do sum, and then what we will do? Plus is equal to, we will write here, and then we will write here ARR of what? I. This is the preferable one. Okay, so we'll come here and we will comment this out, and we will run one more time and we will test it here. You see we got this 82. So this is the most preferable one. So you can follow this or you can follow this. It is one and the same. Okay, so this is what we are going to do it. Okay, so this was our iteration. You can see very nicely at 1 what happens. Now if you want to see that what will be the sum value after each iteration, that also you can print it inside it and you can get it. Okay, that also we can get it here. So if you want to see here, you can come here and we will just comment this console.log, and you can come here and you can print here the sum value as well. So if you come here, let us clear the terminal one more time. And if you want to see here, what you can see at the first iteration, when I value is 0, what will be the array of I? It will be 1, correct? And then some value will get updated with 1. So your sum gets here 0 plus 1 is nothing but 1. So that is what it is happening, 0 plus 1, and you get it here. After that, we have what? Then our value keeps changing, right? Our I will become 1. So here you get 1. Then after that, what will be the ARR of I? It will become 2. And what is the sum value? Sum value is nothing but 1. So 1 plus 2 is what? 3, right? So 1 plus 2 will become 3. So you get here 3. And similarly, it goes on and you get till 82. And that is what is the final value. So you can get your iterations as well, how it is performing here as well. So that is what we have done here. Okay, so right now I'll just comment it here and let me comment this out. Okay, this was the first way where we have done it. Okay, where we have calculated the sum of an array with our traditional for loop. Okay, now let us come here and let us do it with a reduce method. What is a reduce method? Reduce is a array method. It iterates through the array and it also accumulates the sum. Here we took a variable to accumulate our sum. Here we have this parameter over here which is doing the same thing for us. So since it is doing the same thing for us, we don't have to declare anything. Okay, so let us see how we will do that as well. So we will come here and I will write here another function. For this, let us create a function called as a sum reduce array. Okay, so I'll create a function like this and let us come here and let us quickly invoke this function as well. So when we invoke it, what happens? We will pass the same thing so that we'll see there is no difference between it, right? So we will do this, right? So now we have done this. Now let us quickly come here and take it over here as a parameter. So I'll come here and I'll take this ARR same and I will write here console.log. Okay. So let us see whether we are getting the array or not here. So I will run this particular file one more time and you will see here when I run, I am getting this particular array. Okay. So we are getting this here. I will what do here is I'll take this console.log once. I'll just create a separator for us so that we don't have a confusion here. So we'll create a separator for us like this. And in our console now, if you see, you will get a separator. So this was our first way and this is our second way. So it is now clearly in our console also visible. Okay. So this is what we have done. So we are able to access our array here. And now how we will do it? So you come here and let us store whatever we are doing it into a variable. So let us come here and I will store here into total. Okay, let us store it into a total. Now what we will do it, we'll come here and I'll write here ARR. So our array dot reduce is the method, right? I told you it takes function, so we will pass a function over here. And it also takes ACC. ACC is nothing but your accumulator. Okay, here it is going to take your accumulator. Okay, now after that your current value. Okay, now what is at the end we are doing? Every time we are adding our accumulator with our element, right? See here, what is your number? Your number is your element. Your number is your each element. Okay, and here what is your ACC? ACC is nothing but your accumulator. So ACC is your accumulator which is going to hold your sum. It is going to hold your sum, or we can say addition. Okay, so it is going to hold your sum or addition of all the elements. Okay, so how we will write it here? So that means what? Here also you are doing the same, right? Accumulator plus the element, it is also the same. ARR of I is what? Accumulator. Sum is your accumulator. ARR of I is what? Number. So we were doing the same, sum plus your number or sum plus your element. So this is the same. If you want to rename it, you can rename this with element also. So ACC and element. So come here and let us put here this as an element only. So this will be ACC and element. So if you come here and you can write here ACC and plus element. Okay, this is what you are going to write it. And this ACC value we will initialize with 0. So where to initialize it? We have to initialize it here after this comma and 0. So you can initialize it like this. So what it will be? ACC plus element and the first value, that is your ACC, will hold your 0. So this is how it is going to work. Now if you console your directly your total now, you will get the same thing. So come here and let us test it here. So you can see here, like again we are going to run it and I got 82 here. How it is working? See how it is working. If I have to tell you, it is nothing but ACC plus element, that is nothing but sum plus ARR of I. And this 0 is what? It is going and updating. This is sum is equal to 0. So that is what here ACC. So here is coming as 0 over here. So we name it as ACC comma element or ACC comma CV. There are different names over here. But if you wish, you can name it as sum comma element. I renamed it that CV or number to an element for the easy understanding. So you can rename it because at the end of the day, that is just a parameter. So we can change it to anything. Okay, so this is what we have it here. Now, if you, it is the same iteration, it is working for us also. ACC value is 0, so ACC 0 plus the element, that is ARR of I. The iteration is working in a similar way only. So this is what we are getting over here, right? So if I have to recap it over here, so let us come here one more time, let us recap it. So if you see here, what is here, there is a sum of an array. We are taking this particular array here and we are using our traditional for loop, and we have here sum is equal to 0. That is going to store our sum values here, correct? So if we come here, we have here for loop, and inside that we are doing what, sum is equal to sum plus ARR of I. So sum is our accumulator, I would say, which is accumulating all the values, correct? So that is what it is happening here, correct? And we are printing it over here. Then once again, what we have done, we have used one more method, that is a reduce method. Which, what does reduce method does? It reduces to a single value. That is the first thing. And second, it iterates through all the elements. So that is what it has done. And it is accumulating our sum. So it is reducing to a single value, if you see. So that is what it is. So here we don't have to initialize anything. Here everything our reduce method does it for us. So we have created a function and we are passing this array over here from here, and it is accepting it here, and we are using the reduce method, ARR dot reduce, then ACC comma element we are passing as a parameter to this function. And then what is happening, ACC plus element only we are doing, because ACC is nothing but it is an accumulator which is going to hold our sum, correct? And element is nothing but our current value, you can say, and that is what it is coming here. And then if you see here, we are putting here comma 0, and we are initializing our ACC with 0. So first time it is 0 plus 1, second time it is 1 plus 2, third time it goes on like. So whenever your sum value gets updated, it is going to work. So it is both working is the same, only the way of writing is different. Okay, both the working are the same, only the writing is different. Keep this in mind. I have repeated this line again and again. Okay, so try both the ways. You can prefer any one way, whichever you like it, please prefer it. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the today's challenge. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and stay tuned for the upcoming challenges, guys. So keep coding, keep learning, and I'll see you all tomorrow, guys, with another exciting challenge. Thank you, everyone.